Federal government approves 14-day paternity leave. Adopted children's fathers covered. Welcome to the news, and thank you for tuning in. The Federal Executive Council on Wednesday approved a 14-day paternity leave to allow male civil servants to properly bond with their newborn or adopted babies. The head of civil servants of the Federation, Dr. Folashade Yemi Esan, stated that this while briefing State House correspondents at the end of the Council's weekly meeting, presided over by the Vice President Yemi Osibanjo at the First Lady Conference Room, Presidential Villa, Abuja. Yemi Esan, who was flanked by the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, explained that paternity leave was approved for men when their wives are delivered of new babies and for couples who adopt infants of 4 months and younger. She explained that such arrangement was crucial to foster father-child bonding. The paternity leave, according to her, was part of the provision in the revised public service rules approved by the Council. She said although the rules were meant to be revised every 5 years, the last time a review was done was in 2008. She added that while the 2008 version has 16 chapters, the 2021 has 17 chapters. On the 14-day paternity leave, Yemi Esan said, "We have also gotten approval to include paternity leave. This is something that is new, and this is something that the unions to the serving asked that we include, and we have been able to include it. We have also been able to ensure that leave now is calculated based on working days and not on calendar days. We also have introduced the transition from paper service to a digital service. So these are some of the new things that are in the new PSR that has just been approved by the Federal Executive Council. Paternity leave is the leave that is approved for men when their spouses or wives have given birth to a newborn baby, or if the husband and wife have just adopted a baby less than 4 months. Then the man is entitled to paternity leave for about 14 days. When asked if the revised public service rules covers the removal of dichotomy between the HND and the degree holder, she said, on the discrepancies between HND and degree program, it's in the scheme of service that this will be reflected, not in the PSR. It's in the scheme of service that describes entry points and things like that. And currently, we're reviewing the scheme of service. It is just that we did this first, and then we will do the scheme of service. So that is where that will be reflected. And this is actually a good one. Yes, this is actually a wonderful one indeed for the civil servants. While this is a good one, I am going to ask again, this is actually not Nigerians' pressing issue. Sincerely, if there is security in the land, or it is only one that is secured, that it will also dream of getting married, if the person is not already married, and having children. With the states of the security in Nigeria, one is threatening to even get married. Talk more of having children, because of course you want to be safe yourself, to make sure you are safe enough to get another person who you can protect, and yet another person whom you can also protect. So it is a wonderful one from the government, but this is not the issue. I keep saying it. Nigeria's number one priority right now should be putting an end to insecurity issues in Nigeria, to end terrorism, banditry, Boko Haram, ISWAP, unknown gunmen, name it, all those things that threatens lives and snatch away people's means of livelihood to them. All those things that make our citizens to cry on a daily basis, our citizens to be on their way to IDP camp every time, just because of this particular issue, should be on the top list, what we call a priority on Nigerians, on the federal government top list, not this particular issue. Yes, this is wonderful, fine, but I believe this is not what we are supposed to be doing right now. If everything is fine and this is done, kudos, wonderful. We are not saying it's not a good news, but what we are actually saying here is that this is not what we are supposed to be discussing about. This is not the good news we want to hear. We want to hear the good news that terrorism has been been taken care of, and it is done and dusted for good. That we will not ever hear any signs of, or any news that somebody was killed here and somebody was killed here. The crimes will now finally be traceable. Nobody will be hiding under the umbrella of the Fulani herdsmen. Nobody will hide under the indigenous people of Biafra. Nobody will hide under the bandits. Nothing will be hidden. Crimes will be traceable. This is what we need. And I say again, it is only somebody that is alive and secured that can go ahead with his day-to-day activities on a daily basis. If I do not feel secure, I am not going to be able to do that. If I am going to be scared of even stepping out of my house, then it's the problem. Even if I am going to be even scared inside my house, this is the problem. It's a problem. We should learn to set our priorities straight. While this will continue to be a wonderful news, yes, it will be a wonderful news. But I think we should look at what is troubling us right now and not this. Nobody who get food for house, they go on paternity leave. I wonder what your special advice advise you. See insecurity, see poverty and hunger everywhere. See increase in the price of food. See price of cooking gas in Nigeria is increasing every day. See the fall in Naira. Oga beg, our husbands want to work so that they do not want paternity leave. Do the needful. This is actually not understood. This paternity leave now that was this particular paternity leave you're talking about is a paid leave. Actually, it's a paid leave, and it's not but like I said earlier, this should not be the issue. This should come in where there is peace, where there's security in the land, where things are going well. If this one will now come in, it will be an icing on the cake. It will be wonderful. Kudos to the government, but not now where insecurity is ravaging the state. There is insecurity everywhere, in the north, in the west, in the east, and the south, everywhere. So please, the government should set its priority right and make sure this security issue doesn't go south, doesn't get to the brink of we can no longer help it. Now that it can be helped, now there is still little time to stop it. They should swing into action and to ensure that the citizens of Nigeria and their properties are safe and sound. This is one area that if they get right, then many other things will fall in place. Many other things. This one is done. Our economic crisis is being looked into and is corrected. The price of goods and services is corrected. Then, if this particular issue comes up, then we will not have a problem. In fact, we will say kudos to the government when it happens. On this note, we would like to say thank you for tuning in and listening to us.